YouTube, what is going on, y'all? It's your boy Young Texas and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Hope you're all having a fantastic day today. We have to give credit where credit is due to Raven Software, the development team behind Call of Duty Warzone. Unless you've been living under a rock, you have definitely heard the recent announcement that Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, a direct sequel to 2019's Modern Warfare, has been confirmed along with Warzone 2, the newest iteration of Call of Duty's Battle Royale. Back in Black Ops 4, Call of Duty stepped into the Battle Royale world with Blackout, and of course with the release of Modern Warfare, they introduced Warzone a few months later in March of 2020. It was of course thought that Warzone would be the only Call of Duty Battle Royale from that point on, as new games would just continue to be integrated with it, as we saw with the release of Black Ops Cold War and Vanguard. However, of course, we now know that Warzone 2 has been confirmed, meaning that we will phase away from Warzone 1, or which is just right now called Warzone Pacific, into this newest iteration. That said though, the current Warzone has not just been put on the back burner and the developers aren't caring about it. The developers are still working very hard to make the current Warzone the absolute best game it can be so that players can enjoy it and of course build the hype and trust of the community going forward. That said, Raven Software has released a brand new Warzone update today, focusing specifically on bug fixes. There were 6 bug fixes outlined in today's update, dealing with weapons, equipment issues, gameplay issues, and more. That being said, let's take a look at what was addressed in today's update. Certain weapons have certain perks, especially if you're looking at weapons from Call of Duty Vanguard that you can have proficiencies in kits on, such as Frenzy, Fully Loaded, or Fast Melee. However, you could get your guns from a loadout, and of course they would come with those weapon perks. But if you get a new loadout with new weapons, your weapon perks should not carry over to your new weapons. However, they were. Some weapon perks are exclusive, meaning that you can't actually equip them on every single weapon. For example, the Vital perk, which increases the critical hit damage range, is not available on the MP40. So when players would get their custom loadouts in Warzone, they might have those proficiencies on certain guns, proficiencies that are of course allowed. However, when they would get a second loadout, those weapon perks would carry over to their new loadout, which is definitely not what was intended. When you open up a new loadout, you're only supposed to have the weapon perks that are equipped on that weapon, and of course these are weapon perks that are permitted to be on that weapon. However, players were getting their old weapon perks on their new weapons, which a lot of them again are exclusive and couldn't actually be on these new weapons. However, they were and having the desired effect. The Vargo 52 is the newest weapon in Call of Duty and was actually introduced in a content drop in Black Ops Cold War, and of course the Vargo is also available in Warzone. If you've used the Vargo, you might have noticed that when you went to reload your magazine, nothing actually happened and you would still have an empty magazine after finishing your reload. Now that issue has been fixed, so if you reload your weapon, you're going to have a full magazine to get back into the fight. The Nebula V Bomb is the newest equipment in Warzone, causing quite the toxic blast that is going to make life very, very difficult for anyone caught in its path of destruction. That said, however, the Nebula V Bomb was doing just a little bit more than it was intended to, because it was actually interfering with kill streaks, vehicles, and various equipment from players that were feeling the effects of the Nebula V bombs. Now, they say not to fight fire with fire, and you definitely shouldn't fight a Nebula V bomb with a Nebula V bomb, and a bug made sure of that, because if you were calling in a Nebula V bomb and so was another player, you would actually be interrupted from calling in yours by the player who called in theirs. That said, however, the developers want you to be able to fight a Nebula V bomb with a Nebula V bomb, so they have fixed the issue and you are no longer going to be interrupted. The crew leader blueprint was causing visual overexposure, and that issue has also been fixed. If you are still working towards unlocking all of the Vanguard operators and you chose to do so in Warzone, you might have run into some issues, specifically with Vanguard operator Halima. Now, to unlock certain operators, you're given a list of challenges that you have to complete. However, Halima's challenges were showing incorrectly and they weren't the actual challenges, so players could complete the challenges that were shown, but they wouldn't get the operator because they were not the correct challenges. This was simply just a visual bug and has since been fixed. Now, although there wasn't too much in today's Warzone update, you can really look at that as a good thing because that means that the developers aren't really seeing that many issues with the current state of Warzone. However, of course, there are bigger issues that are being addressed as well, and those are available on their Trello board. All of that being said, of course, Warzone is far from perfect, and there are a lot of things that need to be fixed, and the developers are, of course, working towards that, so Warzone is definitely taking steps in the right direction. It's going to be really interesting to see how Warzone progresses, especially over the next few months as we approach Modern Warfare 2 and the impending second iteration of Warzone. It would not be shocking to not see Modern Warfare 2 integrated with the current Warzone, rather just freshly integrating with the new Warzone at its launch. The future of Call of Duty is both bright and exciting. There are plenty of big and historic changes on the horizon, and I'm going to be covering it all here on the channel, so this is the place to be for all of that big Call of Duty news. But yeah, guys, that is effectively going to wrap up today's video. I hope you all enjoyed and found it helpful, and if you did, be sure to drop a like and comment on it down below. Subscribe to the channel and hit that bell to turn on those notifications so you never miss any of my daily uploads. For even more from me, be sure to check out the links in the description below to connect with me on all of my social media so you never miss any of my content. And for the latest and greatest Call of Duty news, intel, and so much more, be sure to use the links in the description below to connect with IPC on all of our social medias, as well as our website where you can check out my article about today's Warzone update. But other than that, I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and that's been it. Peace.